Hello and welcome to the Morningstar series, Why Should I Invest With You? I'm Emma Wall and I'm joined today by Ainslie McLennan, manager of the Henderson UK Property Fund. Hi Ainslie.
Hello.
So there's been quite a lot of change in the property sector over the last 6 months. Following the Brexit vote, the fund is now reopened for trading as of October the 14th, but you, among other property fund managers, took the decision post the Brexit vote to suspend trading. Why does a firm make that sort of decision?
Well, it was the first time that decision had ever been taken on this fund. It's been on the go since 1999 and it's never suspended before. We were in an exceptional situation where, the result of the vote, which I think was a huge shock to many, caused a run rate that was becoming unhealthy on the fund, and the decision was taken by the Henderson board with the result of the vote and the other fund suspensions that had taken place prior to ours, that it was appropriate for our fund to suspend trading for a period.
And across all asset classes, a lot has happened since June the 24th. If we just take a quick look at equities, I think it's been a surprise how much the FTSE 100 has rallied, and that is due mostly down to sterling devaluing. Does that have a similar effect on property?
It has. We're always very forensic at tenant level about how that would affect the businesses, and we haven't had any fallout from that. But from a short-term perspective, in terms of raising liquidity, it has actually brought a number of overseas investors into the market, many of whom are active anyway, but really could see a huge advantage to being very proactive about getting hold of good investment property over the period that we've been sort of seeing this devalue. So, that in many ways has helped us drive a competitive edge from people wanting to purchase assets that we've been selling and get deals done quickly, but at very, very good prices. So yes, it's been a positive in that respect short term for us.
And looking forward, there are still a number of uncertainties. Article 50 hasn't even been triggered. A lot of the GDP figures are looking positive, but again, it's very early days. So what is your outlook for the sector?
I agree with that completely. I think we haven't really dealt with Brexit yet. We've dealt with the result of Brexit. It's quite possible that property's faced up to this, at the early stages. So we might have dealt with a lot of this early on prior to Article 50 being invoked. But from our own perspective, when we're looking at the assets that we've got in the portfolio and the tenant and the tenant profile of those, it's all about income for us. So really trying to be as steady as we can on that income line, making sure that these tenants are good for the rent, which passes straight through to be the dividend, right through what could be a very steady time, but what could be quite a tested time, and making sure, with an average lease length on the fund still around 10 years after our sales process, a very low void rate on the fund, that we're good for the money so that dividend and income stream is there, is really the reason anyone would invest in commercial property in the UK. And
is it a change of tact because you know that Brexit is coming, or is it sort of business as usual?
It's pretty much business as usual. We're a very income-focused fund. We're a very core fund in that regard, and that's been a long-term trend on the fund. So that hasn't changed. I just want to make sure that these tenants are the right tenants, and we've had a very keen eye on that as we've been selling out of assets. We've tried to sell out of things where we've crystallised good returns on asset management performance that we could capture, but also that what we were going to have remaining in the fund was very robust in terms of that income stream, and that's been our big focus. So that should be something that I think is reassuring to people as we go into next year and invoking Article 50.
Ainslie, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Thanks.
This is Emma Wall from Morningstar. Thank you for watching.